All right. So this song called Chemo, and I honestly I don't remember where the name came from. I don't know why I called it Chemo. I was probably just trying to think of a cool name, and I was horrible at naming songs. A lot of times, if it wasn't named after the chorus or a line that just repeated over and over again, I wasn't very good at naming them. So, but anyway, I was listening back to the song, and I know that we need a cure. The idea is that we all sin, we all fall short, we need God, but realizing that even though we sin and we make mistakes, God still loves us. The chorus is God doesn't love me. And then I believe it's Robbie Harris and maybe Marshall screaming, love me any less. If you guys watch this and you remember, put it in the comments. But the counterpoint kind of there, God doesn't love me any less. It doesn't, because we sin doesn't mean God doesn't love us. God loved us before, he sent Jesus, while we were still sinners, while we were still in our sin, while we were still unrepentant. Jesus died for us. And so I think the chemo thing was I'm going on what I think is that we need a cure, C-U-R-E, for our sin. And Jesus is that cure. And it's only through him that we have redemption. So anyway, what was funny is I was a big fan of Helmet 2 around the same time, and I could, at the very end of that song, it has those stops, and it's like the never ending. It just keeps on going. Like, okay, when is it going to stop? When is it going to stop? And I remember getting a few compliments over the years that Marshall and I were really tight, and we could feel the stops. We just knew when each other were going to stop. I remember back a long time ago when he and I started playing, I would write these like intricate bridge sections that changed timing and did all this other stuff. And Marshall was like, how am I supposed to follow that? Like, what timing are you in? And I was just like, follow my head. It's like, just follow my head. If my head changes, it's time for a change. So anyway, those are some fun times. But anyway, there's also a cool little bass little thing where everything gets quiet for a second and the bass kind of comes in, and Ryan nailed that. So anyway, pretty cool. It was, again, same studio, 1997, Robbie on guitar, Marshall on drums, Ryan on bass, and me on guitar and vocals. Wrote it around that time, 96, 97. I don't exactly remember when we went into the studio. But I think out of all of the stuff that we recorded with Kurt, some of this stuff kind of came out better sounding. This was prior to us doing There's Hope in the Darkness album. And that hope in that album, I think it was sometimes the album title was misconstrued or misunderstood, but the hope was Jesus, even though we're in the darkness. But anyway, that's a side point. But this was before that, I think a year, maybe 2 years. And we recorded that in 98. And so anyway, there you go. A little more history, and I hope you enjoyed the track. And, like I said in one of the other videos, if you like it, subscribe, share, like, and tell your friends, especially if you have some friends that used to listen to us. And maybe we can grow a little bit of community. If we're in a band around that time and you have a link to some old footage or whatever, put it in the comments. I think you can put links in the comments. I don't plan on deleting any. So if you got any old footage, either of us or your band from around the same time, feel free to share it. And anyway, hope you have a great day. Take care. God bless. Bye.